beat a dead horse. That's not what we're here to do. And I don't want to pour salt in kind of a wound that I think the entire sport is carrying around right now. But I got to get your take. Just in my opinion, in the fall of 2019, the E3 Spark Plugs NHRA Pro Mod Drag Racing Series presented by J&A Service was at an all-time high. Full of energy and excitement and enthusiasm. This thing's headed to the moon. I don't know how many cars were in Indy that year. I think 30. You couldn't, I mean, everybody's spread out all amongst the gravel and grass, there at Lucas Oil Raceway at Indianapolis. Today, not so much, man. We had 7 cars at the Brainerd National event, 9 in Denver. We obviously know there are some logistic, geographical battles that those two facilities present for racers. But can you kind of tell me where you think we are as a category right now, where Pro Mod is compared to where we were?
You want the truth or you want the polished version?
I would really like the truth, man. I mean, because I think that's what we're here to do, is be authentic. And I don't want to put you on the spot, and I never ever want to put any of our guests in a compromising position, man. But these conversations have to be had. There's nobody
I'm going to offend that pays my bills, so I don't care. The reason that we're in where we are right now, first of all, before I get going down this road, and this could take 3 hours, so I hope poor John Boris, he's my hero. I hope I don't want to keep waiting. I don't think you can look at the car count in Denver and Brainerd, and I'll tell you why. One, it's the middle of the summer. Pro Mod racing quarter-mile NHRA has never been well attended in the summer. For many of and way before me, we stopped in June and picked back up in Indy.
Yes,
that's when business people that run these cars, run their business, live their lives, take their family on vacation. So when you ask them to quit doing all that in the middle of the summer to go out and race in 95-degree heat and drive 1,800 miles to compete against it, if they're not interested in running for a championship, you're not going to ever win that battle, I don't think. Now, with that said, there's a lot going on that's hurting that. I think it leads down to a couple of things. Number one is parity. Number two, NHRA's pretty off the rails, and hopefully we got some help coming back, but they're pretty headed out there. They took a lot of bad advice and a lot of bad information from some people who had a goal in mind. And by doing that, if you look back at 2019, the racing was pretty close. We were destroying the field, but we were destroying our combination, not just the rest of the field. You know, we didn't have the turbos covered by forever, and we didn't have the nitro covered forever. We had even a root sports covered by forever. The turbo community got caught with their hand in the cookie jar that they've had in the cookie jar for a long time. Because of that, we needed a new combination to run, because nobody wants to everybody to know how far in the cookie jar they are. So we let a combination come in with very little data on it. There was a couple exhibition runs run throughout the year where they ran 580s at 235 on the wood. Everybody's good to go. We're going to let this thing in. I told NHRA before this happened, you're not going to get any cars. You're just going to cost everybody money. When you allow a new power adder to come in without a direct, clear path of, hey, there's a guy over there that's got a Pro Charger, or there's a girl over there that's got one, all you do is make all the people that were already racing spend $350,000. So then we get this thing in there, and all we hear in 2020 is the parity's good. We're running it as hard as it'll go. In 6 runs, they took a brand new car and smashed the national record. Then they go out and we get no rule changes in 2020. It's a COVID year. You have to look at that, and I understand why they didn't hit the rules in 2020. They didn't want to lose any cars. We're barely hanging on. Everybody, including me, is just excited to be racing. Don't care if you win or lose.
Yes,
just
sir.
get cars on the racetrack. So not everybody's the fault. But then you come into 2021, we don't get any change. They hit them 20% of overdrive. They go faster than they did. They add weight. They take gear away. They're hundreds of pounds heavier now, and now they're still running them hard as they go, and they still got us. It's a lot closer now. But if they would have, I hate to say Ricky Smith was right. I hope, man, one day somebody's going to cut that out, and they're going to have me saying Ricky.
We need to make shirts. Ricky Smith was right.
But he was right. They should bring a new combination in, a 10th back, and let them develop. So anyway, you have parity. You have a lot of guys who are not racing right now that you'll see start to come back because they've made enough changes to at least make it closer. Guys don't want to come and get beat by a 10th and a half. Like, it's expensive to come get crushed. Then you've got the auto shifter. We take the auto shifter out because we got to have safety. And then everybody starts raising Cain about it. Then we got some people saying that they can lease some cars and get some cars if we take it out. So we take it out. So we got auto shifters in there. We sell that junk. Everybody starts to get good driving them. Then we got to put it back in. You got to have some consistency on the rules. Throw in most of the useless safety stuff that's still in there, and you can't get regional cars, and it all adds up to car count. If you look at the transmission drivetrain tunnel rule, the battery cutoff switch, the CO2 bottle switch, and the fire retardant paint stuff, 3 of those 4, if there were not Turbo 400s allowed to race in NHRA, would never have even happened. Caruso's wreck, where the air bottle was empty, you could never stage a planetary drive car with no air bottle. Could not have ran down there and wrecked it. Without all the Turbo 400s leaking all over the racetrack, you don't need all the tunnel stuff. And without one bad fire where a car didn't have a fuel shut off, you don't have all the fire retardant stuff. So when you make safety rules on one-time things, you end up with a very expensive safety package that stops you from getting regional races. I'm begging NHRA right now, beating my head against the wall, trying to get a 2-race waiver for people that can come in and run a regional event or 2, come to the 2 Charlotte races, come run the Vegas race. Let them put some big bulky diaper or something on there. Like we have a diaper on our Lenko. It can never squirt all out, and I still have to have all that junk. I don't know if they're receptive or not, but I had some conversations with them this weekend, and they at least want to talk about it.
I think that's a very valid point to make, Stevie, because that was one of the things that really had me beating my head against the wall. On the heels of that announcement that the Real Pro Mod Association would be going away, NHRA was going to take over the class, and we were hearing things like, hey, no more car quotas, come one, come all. If you want to buy a tech card, you can come run Pro Mod in the NHRA. We're all excited about that, but they bookend that decision with all these new safety devices and all these new safety rules, and I go, man, you just shot, it's over. All those cars, all those guys that were starting to get excited going, you know what? I can't go to them all, but I want to go to a couple when they come close. All those guys say, you know what? Never mind. Right. And I think the belief is that, like, oh, what's 15 grand to a guy that's got a $500,000 race operation or whatever? It's not that simple. It's not that simple.
It's not 15, first of all.
I think it's 23,000, I think,
but it's not 23,000. It's the fact that most of these cars that compete in the regional series that you need to attract cannot afford to weigh 15 pounds heavier. All right. All this stuff is heavy. When you make the guy, it's not that they don't want to spend the money.
Great point.
If you're coming and you're a regional competitor and you don't run an NHRA a lot, you're probably not going to win if you show up at a race. And you can, it's happened before, but you're probably not going to. These guys are coming to be part of a big show, race on the big stage, have fun, get some experience, get their feet wet and see if they like to do it, see if they want to come back and build a car for it.
Personal opinion, if we could have 16 or 18 Stevies, touring pros, yourself, Jose Gonzalez, the list goes on. If we had 16 touring pros, maybe 14 to 16 touring pros, but could roll into Charlotte and get Jay Cox and get Jason Harris and or go up into the New England area and get Freddie Scribba or wherever, get some of these regional guys, this thing would be painfully badass. I mean, it would be a barn burner every time out. You have this group of touring pros that support them all, but every race you're able to pull in 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 regional players. Man, you've got a barn burner of a show on your hands. And I really think that the only thing that's keeping that from happening, obviously the rules a little bit in disarray right now. I do feel like we're making progress, but this 2-race waiver, that could really be a difference maker for the series headed into the end of 2021.
And I pitched when they threw the auto shifter out, I was running down the street screaming naked, hey, let's leave, let auto shifts in with a 25-pound weight penalty. That way, if I can shift my car, I got an advantage. We don't keep anybody that wants to lease a car from coming away. Didn't win that. But if we can get a deal with a 2-race waiver, you know how exciting it would be to have Jay Cox come up and allow me to crush him by half a second in Charlotte? Or you get somebody that's well-funded.
I got chills.
Like Tommy Franklin. And when Jay comes out and beats me at my game, you know how good that is for the sport? Like, it's really good. And you can even make it simple. Tell them if they got a Turbo 400, if you decide you want to run a Chevrolet Suburban transmission, you got to have something to help you. But don't make them weld stuff to their car, cover it all up. Give them a 2-race waiver. I told NHRA this weekend, I said, type out a waiver that says you're going to die and this is going to kill you and we're not going to even put the fire out and you know you're coming to die. Sign it here. Give your kids away and let them sign it. You'll be off the hook for insurance. Like, say it on there 10 times, you're going to die. Like, you have no chance of life. You understand it's the last day you'll be on Earth. You don't
will not survive.
And give it. Don't make it a 1-race. Make it a 2-race. If we go to Charlotte and Virginia, you won't be able to come regionally. So I think that would be awesome. And then the other thing you got to do to keep cars coming is you have to cut costs down. Letting the Pro Charger in is great. Almost went to it. It cost everybody $300,000 to $400,000. Overdrive rule, $300,000 to $400,000. New rear gear rule we just got last week. They'll be right back up there. It's going to cost them a couple $100,000. Now we're talking about letting screw blowers in. You're not going to get a car. You're just going to make everybody go spend $300,000 to get a screw blower. You're not going to get a car. We got to, at least before we talk about doing anything crazy, let's keep it simple and try to get some common sense decisions in the technical department to bring some cars.
The screw charger thing really scared me, and I'm not sure how many of our viewers are privy to this conversation that's being had. Stevie, you and I jumped on the phone about this last week. It's like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but history tells us that everywhere screw blowers go, they ruin it. Like, listen, I love those cars, and it's awesome. Pro Extreme at its height was fantastic. But they belong on funny cars. By and large, my opinion is they belong on funny cars or outlaw Pro Mods, right? Where they've been welcomed and integrated into the program for a long time. But I'm with you. I don't see the inclusion of screw blowers putting any more full-time racers into rotation here.
Zero. All you're going to do is make me buy one, make Jose buy one, make Belushi buy one, make Justin buy one, make everybody buy one. And we'll all have the same thing again. We'll just have to spend a bunch of money. They cannot get parity with four combinations remotely close. I don't know how we'll add something else. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, or at least it's further down the road, but that's
I'm hearing people are buying them. Okay.